everyone knows that Pokemon is too easy. So, I decided to make it harder by giving myself the 6th weakest Pokemon, and I'm going to become the champion of Pokemon Ultra Sun. But before I start, I should probably explain how I got into this type of challenge. My first adventure into the Pokemon world started in Pokemon Ruby, where I used a Charmander, don't worry how I got it, and swept the entire game with it. I loved it, but as time went on, I started to realize just how little strategy is needed when playing, since at the age of 10, I was already a Pokemon champion and beat my first Pokemon game with a level 80 Charizard. The first time I actually tried to make a Pokemon game difficult was in Pokemon Ultra Sun, where I didn't evolve a few Pokemon, and I also used a Ditto, a Pokemon known for becoming your opponent. And in an easy game with easy trainers, it becomes a bad Pokemon about 90% of the time. And now that I am old enough to cheat in Pokemon games very easily, I decided I wanted to do a difficult Pokemon run, but I was out of ideas, until I realized people don't use weaker mons in their playthroughs, and honestly, they need some love. So here I am giving them some love by seeing if it's possible to beat God and become the champion of the Alola region using the 6 weakest Pokemon. There are only going to be 3 main rules, those being I can only use these 6 Pokemon, Wishiwashi cannot become a Kaiju as that would ruin the entire point of the run seeing as it has insane stats when it's big, and finally try to be within reasonable levels of the opponent. Later I have to be higher leveled, but I never went too high of a level to the point that it made the game easy, so it's fine, don't worry about it. For the beginning of the game, I pretty much only used Terra the Azurill and Poseidon the Wishiwashi, since they have powerful moves, and this is early game. It works for a while, only getting beaten once by Ilima. Okay, I missed, that's annoying. Okay, 1 mon down. This is... You're not being serious. I'm actually gonna lose already. Okay. Oh. Oh. And around this time, I picked up some Pikachu-themed clothes, since if I'm going to be stuck in cutscenes for 10 hours, I might as well look good while doing it. Because, like, I'm able to beat him on my first try.
Shout out 8th Gym.
Yeah, I'm not going to be happy when I have to fight Komodo and then Rabombi back-to-back, pretty much.
Yeah. Fuck that gym.
But by then, Kricketot should have Endeavor, so that means I could instantly get any mon to almost 1 HP. Once I made it to the first of 4 Kahunas, Hala, he nearly caused my second wipeout, but I was able to hit a Sing, a move with the 55% chance to cause the opponent to fall asleep, causing me to realize just how powerful my Azurill actually is and will be throughout the entire run, since Pokemon will only be getting stronger from here on out. Okay, I keep on forgetting how much damage my Azurill does. I didn't realize it could 2-shot the Machop. After beating up an old man, I head onto Akala Island, where I have to fight 3 Totem Pokemon in a row, each with insane power and a completely different strategy to beat them with. Some of my friends even dropped by during this island to give me some motivational support.
Yeah, I'm a Mela. You wanna hear my Mel, Sammy?
I don't want to hear your meow.
Mel!
Bro.
He's practiced that.
Catboy.
I've practiced that.
Catboy.
Mel. You wanna hear my bark?
No.
Oh.
I
It sounded like you were choking on yourself.
Yeah. And Caterpie. Now I could slow down my opponents. Not like it'll help later, but they're also electric typers. I was so wrong on this. The run might have been impossible without Electro Web. Slows opponents, and my fastest Pokemon can learn it, Weedle. which is insane that Weedle is my fastest Pokemon, but it helps me out massively later, all things considered. The second totem Pokemon, Araquanid, is very annoying since it's extremely strong, can summon Masquerain, which is terrifying by the way, that little bug guy. Hopefully I do not run into one ever. Luckily, I was able to beat the Araquanid after a few wipeouts using Hera, the Azurill. Going straight into the next totem Pokemon is Marowak, the Fire Ghost type, and he can almost one-shot any of my Pokemon, gets Detect, and can summon a powerful ally. Needless to say, I wiped out a lot on him, but I did manage to do this. So first I regular Muddy Water because he detects, yeah.
I love Muddy Water.
Same. 2 HP. Okay, I one-shot him. But now I have to defeat the Salazzle.
Whimsicity. P3.
Okay, I beat Totem Marowak. The last totem of Akala Island is Lurantis, and this one was the easiest of the 3. Probably because it summoned a bad Pokemon and I was able to get a critical hit, knocking it out in one shot. I got a crit and just one-shot the Lurantis. I think it had time.
W.
So, I only got knocked out once, which, compared to the last one, massive W.
Massive W.
You thought I was gonna end this island just on one critical hit? No, I have to go into the next battle. There's Oblivia, the Rock-type Kahuna, and looking at my team, this is not gonna be fun. From 3 Pokemon that are weak to Rock, with only 2 that are good against it, and my Azumarill, which only has a normal type move because it's not a water type. This is gonna be rough. Unsurprisingly, when a trainer is good against most of my team, this becomes a pretty difficult fight. But I managed to get through it using Kricketot, which has Bind, a move that when I get hit for 2 turns can double the damage back onto the opponent, which ordinarily useless because, you know, I'm using baby Pokemon. However, my 5 previous attempts gave me enough info to know that I would survive the attacks, and then I could beat it with this awesome Pokemon. Before we continue the rest of this run, I would like to tell you guys to, well, subscribe. I mean, making this kind of content does take a bit of time, and I am very new to making fully edited videos. So, yeah, if you want to see more, just leave a like, subscribe, let me know that this is the type of stuff that you like. Yeah, anyways, on to Ula Ula Island, I think? After beating Akala Island, I go to Aether Paradise. I beat a jellyfish or whatever, then I just go to the next island where I get destroyed by Hau. Not even a competition. Good thing I don't have to fight him later. Luckily, the next fight wasn't nearly as hard, it being a regular trainer and a preschooler, which, by the way, they always have tiny Pokemon on them, so wasn't a challenge. I leave the fight proud and awaiting my next challenge. Turns out I was meant to go up the mountain and not into the garden yet, so I did that, beat the round ball, came back, and fought Guzma, leader of Team Skull, who then proceeded to 6-0 my entire team with the Masquerain with 0 effort. So I used a few rare candies, because if he one-shots my entire team, I cannot beat him. And after a few more attempts, I do manage to win, meaning I am halfway to being done with this challenge and being the champion of Alola. After beating Guzma, I beat Totem Mimikyu, which, pretty cool. Then I get destroyed by Plumeria, something very uncool. But I managed to beat her and proceed, making my way to the big boss Guzma once more with the pincer now. Somehow they fit 2 boss battles with the same guy on the same island and thought it was a good game design. It is, I love Guzma, he's so cool. Okay, 20 minutes later, I fight Guzma again. He beats me, no surprise there. But I managed to come back, fight him, and now I fought Gizmo 3 times, all within the span of like one recording session. I'd have no idea why they do this. But now I'm gonna go and fight Lusamine! Let's see if I could beat her. No! No. Alright, she beat me. No surprise there. However, the game did not care. Let me continue the game anyways of 30 wipeouts. Given my current levels, I wonder if the game is actually possible. As being just over level 60 and just over half the game, I might be a level 100 at the end of this if it continues at this rate. Now that Lusamine is in another dimension, I can continue my trials. I breathe through Pony Island, make it all the way to this random trainer with a busted team. He manages to beat me, which really set the mood for how bad this Komodo is gonna be. Okay. Now this shouldn't be surprising, but I lost a fight! Again, and again, and again, and it didn't stop for like 9 fights. Well, I finally beat Komodo and I can continue the game. I gotta now beat the Caesar, and I lost to him? Okay, now I gotta fight him, which, okay, I beat him on my next attempt, we're good. I used Bide, a move that I knew would come in handy, and I'm happy it did, because this is so annoying. Let's go. After Komodo, crazy plot stuff happens, and I am now fighting Ultra Necrozma, a Pokemon stronger than Arceus, with all of its stats multiplied by 2, and given my team is made of the weakest bonds, you could probably guess where this is going. Turns out, even if my team's level 100, they cannot survive a single attack from this guy. Who would have guessed? That solves my question, though. It is not possible to beat Pokemon Ultra Sun with the 6 weakest Pokemon. Every strat I tried didn't work, and there is no way for me to survive an attack. Oh wait, there's an item that guarantees I survive on 1 HP. But that isn't available till post-game. Unless you're talking about the one that has a 10% chance of me to survive on 1 HP. Only obtainable for Machop 10% of the time, but that would require me to activate it twice in one fight. Once for Endeavor, and once for a Pokemon to finish it off. The odds are like 1 in 100, or is it? I don't know. Y'all in the comments can figure this out. I was gonna math it out, but there's like 4 variables that drastically change the odds, and I don't want to do all that. If you did the math, good on you. I beat it in 7 attempts because I got lucky. Or maybe I was statistically average. I don't know, since I didn't do the math. Okay. A 50% chance-ish that, I can defeat this guy right now. Was a lot more hype in my head. I never considered the fact that I'd just be doing the same fight again and again and again. Oh! Now after all of that, I gotta beat every single trial captain, which was pretty easy. I wiped out once, and then I beat Ribombee, the final totem Pokemon, which was pretty easy because it didn't even set up with me, so that was awesome. Now I get to the Shadow the Hedgehog wannabe Gladion with this team of friendship evolutions. And after a few attempts, I managed to beat him. Wait, first try? After I beat Gladion, I lose to a random double battle, and now I make my way to the hardest challenge yet, the Pokemon League. A devastating 5 battles to determine who the champion of the region is, and I am here to prove that I meet that title. First, I attempt each one separately since I'm wondering how hard could this realistically be. Starting with Kahili, the Flying-type master who is seen once this entire game, and she destroys me no contest. Then I lose to Oblivia, then I lose to the Steel guy, then I lose to Acerola, and now I realize that this is going to be a much harder challenge, so I level up and try try again until I finally manage to beat Oblivia. I feel like at first I always miss my first attacks. Yes! Okay. After healing up from the Oblivia fight, I go into the Acerola battle and beat her on my first attempt as leveling up. Oh, you can't hit me. That's why you're setting up. Ooh. After a few losses, I beat Kahili. I would show this full fight, but I'm gonna be honest, most fights look the exact same. I knock out him on, they knock out one of mine. I use Electro Web, I outspeed and win with only one Pokemon remaining. So I would just say that I beat her and the Steel guy and make my way to the 5th member of the Elite Four, the Champion. Now I make it to Hao, the man I've been fighting the entire game. So, it took me a few attempts. I'm gonna be skipping all the boring ones because you guys don't want to see a full fight where I lose and then have to fight him again. So, here it is, the full final fight of Pokemon Ultra Sun. Can I beat the game with the 6 weakest Pokemon? But you didn't do anything the first time, so you have to be sent out this time. Oh. What? Whoa. What's his speed? Should have 74, and I should have 92. What's the fastest Mommy team? 123, 132. Super Fang? Ice Beam? Okay, he survived. Whoa! Oh, that is alive! Wait, his last Pokemon is... Oh my god. Let's Ice Beam you. Yeah. Get rid of that Bloom Doom. I should've... No, there's no way I'm getting overconfident now, aren't I? There's no way. Okay, I won the fight. Yes! Okay. Giga Volt Havoc. Now. We did it! Yes, okay. I beat him. Let's go! I beat him at full power! Using nothing but 3 10% chances! Yeah! Yeah! Let's go! Bro, I destroyed him! Okay! And then, the most important member. No, not you. Where, did I skip over Caterpie? I did. That sucks. Caterpie won this for me. Even though I had Suncream in the back and he would have hit him with a super effective Seed Bomb. Congratulations, I'm Alola's first ever champion in 2023 because nobody plays this game anymore.